Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. All right, so we got the Lakers and the Warriors tonight in San Francisco at the Chase Center. And we're back from the All-Star break. All-Star break was about a week long. It was good, even though the All-Star game and the festivities brought a lot of controversy, given the fact that a lot of people thought it wasn't as competitive as it needed to be. But otherwise, the break was good for, I'm sure, everyone. And it allowed for our team to get healthy. But unfortunately, we come back with a new injury, which is like, what the heck? We get two guys out, two guys in. So the guys who are coming back are Max Christie and Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish has been out for like a month with some type of leg injury or heel. I don't actually remember what it was, but he's back from it. And Max Christie also sprained his ankle right before the All-Star break, a few games for the All-Star break, and he's expected to be a game-time decision as well, both of them game-time decisions. Unfortunately, now we have Christian Wood, who is out for an extended period of time with swelling in his knee. I don't know how that managed to happen during the All-Star break. What the hell were you doing in the All-Star break that would make your knee swell up? But that's what happened, Christian. So that's going to have him out for a couple of weeks. And, of course, we got Braun, who's going to miss tonight. A lot of controversy surrounding that. People aren't very happy about that. I gave him a pass. I'll leave it at that. He's not going to go tonight. We do play tomorrow against the San Antonio Spurs. I do expect he'll probably be ready for that one. But first of the back-to-back, fresh off the All-Star break, he will not play. So that's what we got going on, man. The Golden State Warriors and the Lakers have both won 4 of their last 5 games, with the Warriors having scored quite a bit on the Utah Jazz in their last win. Klay Thompson came off the bench with 36 points. So, I don't personally think you can really carry over stats from the beginning of the All-Star break to the return. I don't think that you're going to see the same stuff. Of course, for us, we got entirely different players coming in that we have to try to work back into rotation. Now we got Spencer Dinwiddie, who's going to play with Cam Reddish for the first time without LeBron James there as well, without Wood there as well. So it's a whole new thing. People have to learn one another as far as our team is concerned. And the Golden State Warriors, I don't know that they have anybody on the injury report other than Gary Payton, who's a game-time decision. Of course, Chris Paul was out. I didn't see him on the injury report at all, so he may be back. Of course, the Lakers have, Gabe Vincent and Vando, who are also expected to continue to miss time. They're not coming back anytime soon, so we know that. But as far as like carrying over stats from what happened a week ago, I just think it's almost like the tale of two halves when it comes to the All-Star break. A lot of tendencies don't carry over for a lot of teams. Rotations change. Guys come back a little rusty from the All-Star break or what have you. So doing homework is always important. But as far as expecting shooting trends and rebounding trends to continue, I think that's flawed in some cases. Sometimes teams come back and be the exact same team. Sometimes, they'll come back and be somebody completely different. So I just tend to not believe that it makes a whole lot of sense to study the numbers too much when you've had a week in between in an All-Star break there. But nevertheless, that's what's going on. The Utah Jazz were the team they played last, and they shot very well. They shot, above 50% from the field, above 43% from the three, hit 23. So, that's what we're running into, the Golden State Warriors. Of course, the last time we saw them, we had to go up against a double overtime version of themselves, and we were able to squeeze out of there with a victory in what I call the best game of the season, maybe the best game in several years. It was a thriller of the highest order on ABC, and of course this one will be on TNT tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. So, if you're looking at the Golden State Warriors, of course, if we mentioned Klay Thompson, he could go for 12, he can go for 40. You just don't know what you're getting out of Klay. But his last game, he was hot, and you can't expect him to be too damn cold, given that that's the case. Of course, Steph Curry. We know Steph Curry. There ain't nothing else to say. It's Steph Curry. He's going to shoot the ball. He had a fantastic show against Sabrina Ionesco, where he went for 28 in a three-point shooting contest exclusive to those two. It thrilled a lot of people. And, of course, we know he's the best shooter ever, so he was going to win that. And he's probably going to shoot a lot tonight because that's just what he does. So you got to be ready for Steph Curry. I mentioned Andrew Wiggins already. I don't know what I did. Actually, I talked about him in the last video. But nevertheless, Andrew Wiggins is somebody that always plays well against the Lakers, no matter what's going on. He always finds a way to have one of his better games against us, and the last game was no exception. So you got to look out for Wiggins. Podziemski has worked back into the rotation as he had a fantastic start to his season. Rookie, shooter, rebounder. Definitely got to take good care of the basketball around him. He plays some defense here and there, but Podziemski is somebody who I think is one of the better rookies out there, and they had him fall out of rotation a little bit, but right before the All-Star break, he fell back into it and looked fantastic. So look for him to have a big role on this particular evening. Who else? Of course, Trace Jackson-Davis, I think, is out of rotation, but you never can tell when they're going to use who they do, man. Kevon Looney, of course, fantastic vet. I couldn't remember what his name was when I made the video yesterday talking about him, but he's definitely somebody who can elevate his game at any time, never misses any games, so you know he's going to be out there tonight. Golden State Warriors, talking about Jonathan Kuminga, of course. Now that they have him in rotation as a starter, he's just basically been playing like an all-star and hasn't looked back. Just a fantastic scorer and really somebody that you're going to have a hard time keeping up with because he's such a fantastic ball handler at his position. Can stretch the floor some, although that's not his game, but he's going to play above the rim. And he's just getting buckets, man. He's taking people off the dribble, and he's hammering it home. So expect highlights from Jonathan Kuminga at all times. It just goes on and on. It's a great team. Moses Moody, I don't know how much he's going to be seen tonight. He's kind of falling out of rotation a little bit, but I'm a fan of his on both sides of the floor, so I know he can help their team tonight. Like I said, I don't know if Chris Paul will be available. He's been missing for, over a month, but he might be ready after the All-Star break. I didn't see anything on him, so if he's out there, expect for more continuity. Of course, Draymond Green is going to help with that as well. Fantastic defender. We know Draymond. Expect antics. If you know of anything with Dre, you know he's going to bring the antics to the table. He's going to act up. This is who he is. And, it just goes on and on and on. It's the NBA championship team, even though people see them as a bad squad this year. As I've tried to argue, their defense not their defense, but their bench is much better this year than it was last year when we eliminated them. And, you got to keep up with this squad, man. They got old, wily vets. They got a young combination of players that all come together to start to know one another. And, they're going to be tough to beat, man. They're going to be tough to beat. They play solid defense, especially when Wiggins and Gary Payton are out there. And Kevon Looney and those guys, they play D. And, of course, with Steph Curry, anything is possible. So if we're not bringing our best, it could be a problem. Now, I saw a projected starting lineup that had Cam Reddish in it in place of LeBron James. I really don't know if I trust putting him out in the starting lineup in this situation, fresh off injury, going up against this team. I don't know. That's not probably coming from Darvin. That's probably just the projected in regards to the app that I saw. But I would rather us go with a little more of what it is that we're used to. Obviously, you got to replace Bron somehow, but I'd expect he would go with Taurean Prince in that situation. We will see, but Rui Hachimura should definitely be out there, and of course AD and D'Lo and Austin, and I've been looking at D'Lo's progress that he's been kind of engaging in on social media. They've been showing us that he's been working hard in the All-Star break, and I'm really happy to see how well he's been trying to craft his game and work certain things into his game, like shooting off of the dribble and stuff like that during the All-Star break, rather, not off-season. But he's been working hard, and we're really excited about what he's bringing to the table, most definitely. Hopefully he'll have a fantastic second half of the season like he had since the trade rumors began. He really started elevating his game, and we need that from him in the second half. Of course, as we mentioned, Spencer Dinwiddie, love to have him. He's also going to help us with continuity and scoring, and he's just been a breath of fresh air. In the rotations we use him in, he's been good. Of course, Austin Reeves starting to pick his game up. That's why I really didn't want the All-Star break to happen when it did, because we're starting to finally see good Austin as well, scoring the ball above 20 points, getting double-digit assists and stuff like that. He's just really starting to find himself this season, and hopefully he can bounce back strong in the second half of it, given the fact that this is really a down season for him overall. But he played good against the Golden State Warriors when we saw him in the double overtime game there, and I expect for him to continue to bring that intensity to this matchup as well. We're going to need it for sure against this team. So we know we won a heartbreaker against them. They definitely feeling the pain of that. We still got to play them twice more after this, as all 4 of these Golden State season games are in the second half of the season. So we're going to see a lot of them over the next couple weeks. And we need to be ready because they obviously played us well, and they know us well, and we know them as well. So we got the 2 games out of the way in their house with this one, and then we'll have 2 more at Crypto.com Arena later on. But yeah, get used to Golden State. We'll see them, and don't be surprised if we see them someday down the road in the postseason as well. Hopefully that's not the in-season tournament. We got some games to win to ensure that doesn't happen. But tonight we need to just try to fight our heart out. There's a back-to-back, even though we're fresh off rest. I don't know how that equates to how tired the team will be tomorrow. It could mean that they're even more tired given the fact that you are used to a certain relaxation and then jump immediately into 2 games back-to-back. But we need our team to be fresh tonight. Anthony Davis, obviously, is going to be fresh off the All-Star break. We know what to expect from AD. Hopefully he's in a good rhythm for himself. And continues his stellar play because he's been amazing on the offensive end as of late and the defensive end, of course, always. So rebounding Anthony Davis needs to show up tonight. We're definitely going to be banging with those guys, Draymond Green and Looney and Kuminga and them dudes. So it's going to be important Anthony Davis just be his best as usual, and he's having a fantastic season, so I'd expect nothing less than that. 26 games left for the season, man. We gotta make a push if we want to get out of this in-season tournament range. And these are going to be some of the toughest games over the next several. We got the Suns along with these Warriors. We got the Clippers coming up. We got, of course, OKC somewhere down the road over the next 10 games. You know, it's going to be a nice little stretch of tough games following this All-Star break. So our Los Angeles Lakers are going to have to tighten up, play our best, not make decisions that hurt ourselves. And I think if we continue to lean into our offensive identity with the starting lineup that has been working, I think we can really do damage if we don't shake it up too much. So that's really what it is. I think we finally found something. And with Rui in that starting lineup, I think scoring should come much easier for us. Spencer now in place. It should. It'll be good to have Max back as well. He was playing really well right before he went down. I don't know how much rust he's going to have to shake off given the fact the injury took place, but I like where he's at in his progression. It's good to have him back as soon as we do. And I just don't want our coach to overuse Cam Reddish now that he's back. I know that's one of his favorite weapons, but Cam Reddish is limited shooting the ball, and he really has had injuries, concerns with some of his injuries being reoccurring. We just can't never seem to get him healthy because we're always rushing him back. I would not be upset if we just continue to limit his minutes right now with intentions of having him get even healthier, because I think he will need him more so as a specialty player defensively rather than just a mainstay guy. Same thing I say about Taurean Prince. Just don't want to overuse guys when they're limited. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. We found an offensive identity. I don't want us to blow it. So that's really what it is, man. You're going to have to score a lot against the Golden State Warriors. You know they have a formula for scoring against us. They can work the ball from the inside out, and they can kill it on the outside, as we know. They shot well in that last one. They gave us hell, took 2 overtimes. Let's make sure that with us having a back-to-back tomorrow, that this does not. That's really what it comes down to, man. Your Los Angeles Lakers are going to be wearing the yellow jerseys, our traditional yellows on the road, as always, backwards. And they're going to be wearing their road navy blues at home, as always, backwards. But nevertheless, that is really what I have to say for this matchup. Of course, when I say, we don't need to do a lot of homework on this team because a lot of stuff isn't going to translate, I hope that's not what Darvin's thinking too. He needs to do a lot of homework. He needs to know exactly what's coming at us. He needs to be ready for the changes in our lineup and theirs that could be possible with players coming back. So that's what it is, man. We can't get in our own way as a team. We got to make a strong push for these playoffs. We want a good path in the playoffs. We want to be as healthy as possible in the playoffs. We want to have our identity intact before the playoffs. So that's what I expect our team to be making a push for. Working Dinwiddie into the equation is a big part of that. Jackson Hayes is going to be huge now that Christian Wood is out, but Jackson's been playing so well. Hopefully he has a second half that is just as positive as it was over the last several weeks of the season. And if he's playing his best, we should be able to mitigate that missing piece at the center position. But we got to understand that it is missing. We didn't go out there and get that center that we needed to kind of fill us out with more bodies. So I don't know what we're going to do at the center position. I expect a lot more 3-guard lineups, a lot more small ball than we want to see. So we're a little undermanned out there. We got to have a healthy AD. We don't want to wear him down. It wouldn't be the worst idea for us to use Colin Castleton in these situations just to fill the bodies out, since Christian's going to be missing for 2 weeks. So this was the pain of not getting that center, man. We thought we were in good shape. We know now that we're not with the center position. AD's going to have to play a lot of minutes until Christian Wood gets back, I'd imagine, for us to have the size on the floor and the defensive prowess on the floor, length and all that we love to have. But, you know, Darvin's going to fill in small ball lineups, you know, so hopefully it just doesn't wear us down and ultimately leave us without what we need, rebounding the ball. So that's a bit of a headache for me, man. I wish Christian Wood the best to come back healthy for his injury, because we definitely need him out there. So that is pretty much what I got to say, man. Lakers, Golden State, BDF 44. I thank y'all for watching. Out.